All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast, and for and for the final part of the show, we are going to get into talking about the Seahawks 49ers game from last week. Just get into that and talk about the Niners' performance and if they're back or not. And it was a good performance for them, but again, it almost ended kind of the same way some Niners games have ended this year, and that's, them blowing leads. We saw that against the Cardinals because, the 49ers, they were dominating this game. It looked like they were going to run away with it. And then the Seahawks slowly started to come back into this game. And, however, the Niners, they were able to hold them off, and they got the win. So they were up 23-3 in the third quarter. But then, like I said, the Niners slowly started to come back, or the Seahawks slowly started to come back. You had Laviska Shenault run back a kick return for a touchdown to make it 23-10. The Seahawks then scored again later on to make it 23-17. But then, the Niners, they scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter. The Seahawks scored to make it 29-24, but then the Niners scored again. And the final score was 36-24. But, so the Seahawks got the ball to start the game, and Geno Smith was moving the ball down the field. D.K.Metcalf had a 30-yard reception. They got into the red zone, but then Geno threw a pick trying to hit Tyler Lockett. He gets intercepted. Niners turned that into a field goal. There was no Jake Moody in this game because, he got hurt in the previous week. But, Niners kicked the field goal to make it 3-0. They scored a touchdown in the second quarter. It was one play. Brock Purdy hit Deebo Samuel for 76 yards for the touchdown. And then they got a field goal later on, a 41-yard field goal. So it was 13-0. Then it was 16-0. So, it was 16-3 at the half. And then the Niners, they opened up the half going 9 plays, 70 yards. Brock Purdy connected with George Kittle. Threaded the needle on that pass. I thought Kittle didn't catch it, but he did, and that was his first touchdown of the night, one of two. So that made 23-3. And then, like I said, the Seahawks put together a nice drive. Kenneth Walker scored from 1 yard out. Actually, it was but you had the Shenault touchdown and you had the Kenneth Walker touchdown. So it was 23-17. Then Geno threw another pick. Niners turned that into a touchdown. That was Kittle's second touchdown to make it 29-17. Then the Seahawks put together a good drive, and Geno connected with Tyler Lockett for a 9-yard touchdown on 4th and goal. So, that made it 29-24. And then the Niners, they put together another touchdown drive. The other running back, because Jordan Mason got hurt in this game. I'm going to try, what is it, Gruendo, I think that's how you pronounce it. A 76-yard touchdown, 76-yard run, and then that led to a Kyle Juszczyk touchdown from 6 yards out. Then the Seahawks got the ball back. They turned it over on downs, and the final score was 36-24. Kittle and Juszczyk, they were celebrating with their wives who were, on the field level. They did the kind of Lambeau leap with them. So that was funny to see. And the Niners, they pick up the win. They even their record. And does this mean that they're back? Again, there's still some problems. Defensively, they're not 100%. That does concern me because the Niners usually have a good defense, but teams are still able to kind of move the ball against this defense, and they're going to be going up against the Chiefs on Sunday, the Super Bowl rematch. So that's going to be tough. That is going to be a very tough matchup for them. It is at home, thankfully, but still, you got the Chiefs coming off of a bye, so they're really going to have to bring their A game. I think Jordan Mason's okay. He should be able to play in this game. I know Terrell T was asking in the chat who he should start. I think if Mason does play, you're kind of in a tough spot because, if those are your running backs, Javante's playing tonight, and then the 49ers running backs are playing on Sunday, and if Mason doesn't play, then, you kind of got screwed over. But then I guess you start the other running back. And it was funny because Deebo Samuel, when he was being interviewed after the game, he was saying how Gruendo kind of reminded him of Mostert, and I thought the same thing because he had number 31 on, and that was Raheem Mostert's number when he was with the Niners. I mean, he's still wearing 31 with the Dolphins, but yeah, so I thought that was funny. But yeah, it was a similar ending to the Thursday night game from a couple years ago when these two teams matched up against each other, because you had Jordan Mason, seal the game with a long run at the end when the Seahawks were mounting a comeback, and that's basically what happened here on this with this Thursday night game. Also, love the throwbacks in this game, the throwback uniforms, especially the Seahawks. Love those uniforms a lot. They got to continue to wear those. Really, all the throwbacks. The Oilers throwbacks, the Broncos throwbacks that they wore against the Raiders. The Giants with the Giants on the helmet, not the ones that they wore in Week 1, the other ones, the ones that they wore, in the 80s and 90s. Those uniforms. I'm a fan of the throwback uniforms. The Jets, they wore their throwbacks. I mean, it's crazy that you call them throwbacks, and they were the uniforms from the early 2010s. Wish they would keep wearing those, but yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the throwbacks. But yeah, for the Niners, I mean, look, with all the concerns that they have or have had, they're still in first place, and the division right now is not very good. The Seahawks continue to struggle. The Cardinals, I know they won against them, but they're struggling. The Rams are all banged up. They got a mountain to climb, although they could be getting Cooper Kupp back. And maybe they have the season that they had similar to last year where, you start off slow and then you get hot towards the end of the year and, that propels you to the playoffs. But, they got to get a win this week. This is still the Niners division. And I think they will win this division. Christian McCaffrey maybe comes back in November, which would be huge. And then maybe you get some of the other guys that you're missing on defense back, like Dre Greenlaw. Again, I don't think there's any timetable for his return, but getting him back would be huge. So, yeah, and I think they were missing Charvarius Ward, their top corner. No Hufanga. I think he got hurt in this game, I believe. And last year I think he tore his ACL. So, the Niners defense is not 100%. And I think if you could get that defense right, they'll be in shape. Because, they could still run the football. It's not like with McCaffrey being out, they can't run the football at all. Jordan Mason has done a great job. And then you see Gruendo have this, again, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing his name right, but he has this 70-plus yard run at the end of the game. So the Niners, they could still run the football. And, as long as you got your pass catchers, George Kittle and Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, you're fine. And they could be getting Ricky Pearsall back soon. So he'll be making his debut at some point. Yeah, the Niners offensively are fine. It's defensively where I have my problems because they're injured. So, and they're missing and Javon Hargrave, he's out for the year. It's just the Niners have been dealing with a lot of injuries. But as long as you got most of your offense intact, you'll be okay. So, yeah, but the defense got to get healthy. That's the bottom line. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about this game. I would have talked about this, on Friday of last week, but again, I was not feeling well, so I thought I would touch upon it. But yeah, the Niners, they take on the Chiefs on Sunday. We will preview that game tomorrow. Again, there's some big games tomorrow. And we're going to talk about the biggest games. That'll be on Sunday. The Super Bowl rematch is one of them. Lions-Vikings is another one. Packers-Texans. I mean, there's a lot. Of course, like I said, we have the joy of Patriots-Jaguars to get us started. And then you got the two vets late at night with Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. So it should be a good football Sunday. And obviously we'll take a look at some of the college football matchups for this weekend. There were some solid games on Saturday. So we'll take a look at those. We'll get into all that tomorrow. But yeah, it should be good. Another week down. Again, apologize at times. Again, we're still dealing with a little bit of congestion, and I'm hoping eventually it subsides. But I've been saying that for the last 2 months, and yeah. But I'm better than what I was, previously. So it wasn't like last week. But yeah, no. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Make sure to check out all the other shows. Give the other shows some love as well. Like I always say, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Again, I'll try to respond as best as I can. Terrell T, I appreciate the comments in the chat if you're still here. Hopefully, I gave you good fantasy advice. Starting to turn it around in some of my fantasy leagues. My dynasty leagues, we got off to rough starts, but in my main league, but we're starting to turn the corner a little bit. Because right now, 4-2 in one league, 3-3 in two. 3-3 in two other leagues, and then I'm 2-4 in my dynasty leagues. One of them I started off 0-4. Now I'm 2-4, and I'm starting to, get myself back into the conversation. But I'm like, what am I, 7th in scoring, but I'm like first in points against. So it's just I'm going up against people that are always dropping over 140 points against me. So, but now Devontae Adams getting traded to the Jets. I have him. I really happy about that. With him and Aaron Rodgers, I think they're going to do well. I don't know how the Jets are going to do as a team, but I think Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams will put up good numbers. So, yeah. And then, and then my other dynasty league, I started off 1-0, got ravaged by injuries, got a big win last week. Getting Cooper Kupp back, hopefully, and then hopefully getting Isaiah Pacheco back soon after that. And then the team's looking healthy, and then, 6 teams make the playoffs, only 2 games back of a playoff spot. Maybe we make the playoffs in that. We'll see. And the spread pool, not going great. Not going great. Can't figure out this league this year. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Went off on a little tangent with fantasy, but, yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And, yeah, so as always, I'm your host, Kenneth Gruenfelder, signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.